Good morning, afternoon, or good evening, wherever the time zone that you are in. Welcome to another episode of Shadow Corner. I am your host, your friendly neighborhood life coach, Cyan, and we are here to talk about a lovely subject in shadow work that we should embrace a lot more instead of looking at the heavier versions. Now, we've had two amazing guests, Miss Cheryl Steele and then Miss Susan Snow on Saturday, that was telling us all about going past the trauma to be able to go forward in your life. But what happens when the unordinary becomes you finding a lot more joy and it makes it extraordinary? I'm here from Compost to Consciousness, finding joy that uplifts the soul. And we have a very special guest. Her name is Miss Cathy Nesbitt. And I will give you everything you need to know. So today on the show, we are thrilled to welcome a truly inspiring guest, Miss Cathy Nesbitt. Cathy is a passionate health and wellness advocate and visionary founder behind Cathy's Crawly Composters, which we will talk to her about that because I didn't think I'd find somebody very much passionate about worms up in this to this point. I got her though. I thought it was just plain soil and compost without worms, but hey, we're gonna keep going. Also, Cathy's Sprouters and Cathy's Laughter Club. Since 2002, she's been on a mission to help others live more joyful and sustainable lives. A multi-award-winning entrepreneur, Miss Cathy brings a unique blend of environmental awareness and emotional wellness to her work. She's a certified laughter yoga teacher. I look forward to asking those questions. And was appointed a laughter ambassador in 2017 by Dr. Madan Kataria. Through laughter, tapping, and brain gym and other healing modalities, Cathy helps people shift from stress to joy. Because when we feel good, we do good. Outside of her wellness work, Miss Cathy is also an avid cyclist, gardener, and giving us that healthy life starts with both movement and mindfulness. Let's give a warm welcome to Miss Cathy. Hi, Miss Cathy. How you doing?
Hi, Cyan. Thank you for that wonderful intro. I love that. That was so good. I was like, wow, I can't wait to hear about this woman.
Yes. I was like, you're a cyclist too?
Oh, it's me.
Wow. I was like, I thought I was the only one that liked biking.
I love it. Oh my gosh, I love it so much. It's just such freedom. I just feel like you're on your bike, you're pedaling. I don't have an e-bike. I just like do the pedal thing. I'm not as daring as I used to be. I don't ride on the roads anymore. There's too many cars.
I understand.
And they don't like cyclists.
I think I tried to stay on the country roads rather than trying to do like the regular highway roads because people don't care. They probably bump into you like it's GTA. So
right? Bump. Yeah.
Yeah. So we didn't even go even that far. But Miss Cathy, take us back to the beginning. What inspired you to do Miss Cathy Composters, Cathy Crawler's Composters back in 2002? Because my knowledge of compost was just putting apples and eggshells and some already pre-made soil and give it nitrogen. Like, what started all this in the first place?
Thank you. Oh, great question to start. So I'm located in Canada, just north of Toronto, Canada's largest city. And in 2002, our landfill closed and we started to export our garbage to the US. And I had a solution. In the greater Toronto area, there are 6 million people, half live in condos, townhouses without space to do outdoor composting. And this is a solution. This is indoor composting with worms. And I set forth. I really think I'm an accidental entrepreneur. I just kind of not fell into it. I just believed so much in what I was offering that I went forth, and I have so much energy because when you're on purpose, when you find your way, I know you're a life coach, so you help people to find their path. Who knew when I was a kid that worms would be my way? Not me.
Well, it's not an accident because you saw, just like everything in life, you saw a problem and you became the solution. And a lot of people don't think of it that way. They're just like, okay, I'm just here for the money. No, you're not. There's a purpose attached to every single thing that you do. So my question being at this, what was the connection between composting and your personal wellness journey? Because I know, like, it wasn't just you holding a worm and going, I think I should be more grounded, or just like, hey, since I am the product of that solution, I see a lot of potential in this. So
yeah, so a few things there. A few things. I actually was born in Toronto. I live north in a smaller town. I'm not really a big city person.
gotcha.
Oh, sorry about my phone. If you can hear my phone, sorry.
Oh no, you're a busy lady.
It's life.
Right.
Oh, good. It stopped. Okay, good. Well, not if they wanted to send me money. Yeah, so I grew up in Toronto, and I bought my house outside of Toronto because I couldn't actually afford to live in Toronto. That's the truth of it. I say I didn't like it, but I couldn't afford it. That's why I didn't like it.
I mean, some cheap better, honey.
Right? Yeah, I know there's people listening I could understand what I'm saying. Yeah, so I couldn't wait to start gardening and composting. And so off I went, I did that. And I would take the commuter train. Like most people that move out of a big city, I still had to work in the big city. Mm-hmm. So I would take the commuter train to work, and I would collect my coworkers' lunchroom scraps. So you're right. I'm not an accidental entrepreneur. The worms are just an added extra piece because it's another part of the solution, right? So, right. So composting, as you said in the intro, is for people listening. I don't want to leave them hanging. Composting is just putting your food scraps, your browns and greens, so your fresh food, your fresh rotting food, your scraps, and your yard waste. You mix it, it turns into compost outside. And what I'm promoting is add worms and you bring it inside. Same idea and same contents. Okay, so yeah, so I had this solution, and I just set forth, like, just several things happened. Actually, when I first bought when I bought the house, a teacher friend asked me to look after her worm bin for the summer. Okay, so and as an avid gardener and composter, I knew the value of the worm compost, but I didn't want worms in my house.
Okay.
And I think, and as a life coach, again, I'm sure you coach your clients to take chances and try things that they might be like, oh, I don't know about that. That's right. What I think we should try things. Don't let someone tell you, oh, you won't like that. Oh, give me a list. Save me time.
Okay, so can you debunk a myth for me? Some people say when it comes to compost, you don't use flesh pieces like bones and no meat at all, because it actually ruins your compost and you don't have nothing to like lean on.
Well, not ruins. I wouldn't say ruins. It doesn't ruin because it's nature. So it's just part of the decomposition. But what happens? You leave out meat, dairy, sauce, anything greasy. You leave out all that stuff. Because that kind of material will attract rodents. Because they're carnivores. They're attracted to the meat. They don't care about the vegetables.
Okay.
Right. So, and they're also attracted to the heat of the compost. But yeah. So there you go.
Okay. And you've expanded from not just composting and worms. You went from sprouting and then laughter yoga. Can you tell me how did these two different passions come together under one mission?
Yeah. Worms in the house, really, I just was like, oh, this is such a great idea. Like, how irresponsible of us as Canadians for shipping our garbage out of the country, really. Right. And I had a solution. So I just believed in so much in what I was doing. I just set forth that I wasn't paying attention. Entrepreneurs need to know what their clients want. They need to be listening. And I was like, la, 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 no, you need this. And people don't buy what they need. They buy what they want. And they didn't want what I was flogging. Right. So, but I was like, no, it's important. You need it. You need it, which is kind of the incorrect approach. It's a long way around.
So what did it take to become a laughter yoga coach? Sorry, a laughter yoga teacher. Because I know that yoga is already semi-intense for like beginners, because you see all these different positions. There's some people that should even expand it to like goat yoga. So what is laughter yoga?
Laughter yoga. So just quickly to connect those two pieces. In 2012, 10 years into my mission, one more person said, "Ooh, worms in the house." And the very next day I was introduced to laughter yoga. So laughter yoga was started in 1995 by Dr. Kateria, as you mentioned. 30 years. It's the 30th anniversary. His goal is world peace. There's laughter yoga in over 120 countries. And laughter yoga is not doing yoga and laughing. It's laughing as a cardiovascular exercise. There's little games to inspire the laughter. So there's clapping. You're clapping palm to palm. You're activating meridians. So, and the rhythm is 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. The words are ho, ho, ha, ha, ha.
That is interesting. I should see that. Ooh. So what? Okay. So my next question would be like, I know you explained how it does. What are some common misconceptions people have about like laughter yoga or laughter as a healing tool? Because I know like old folks say like laughter is the best medicine. It helps you get through a lot of things. But you've had yoga into it. It seems like it has gone into something bigger with you.
It's serious business. Laughter is serious with me. And the yoga part of laughter yoga is the practice of the laughter and the deep diaphragmatic breathing. There is gentle movements. There's maybe dancing. There's just little games. And I can give you an example. Like for sure there's deep breathing. So you do in through the nose, out through the mouth. You might breathe in and then laugh it out. Ha, ha, ha. You could do library laughter. You pretend like somebody's sleeping in the next room, but you want to laugh. So you laugh. And that's even harder than laughing, making noise. Like we could try it for a second here. So silent laughter, laughing, like doing the motion without making noise. Right? It feels, you can feel it on your belly. It's like, it's even more intense than laughing out loud with that same intensity. So what happens when we're laughing is we're secreting the love drugs, dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins versus cortisol and adrenaline. Laughter is the opposite of stress. So when we're laughing, ha, 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 we're not stressed at that moment. I'm not saying it stays away forever. It's right there at the door waiting to come back in. Right? We're living in this perpetual state of stress. We've made stress our habit. Like you talk to people, and again, as a life coach, I'm sure you hear this all the time. I'm so busy. I don't have time to change what I'm doing. Oh, the kids, the this, the that, I got da. And people forget to put themselves first. And I feel like, so laughter is a practice. We don't do it once and go check it off the list. Okay, good. I'm done for life. We don't have one good night's sleep and we're done. We don't eat a good healthy meal and that's it, or breathe deep once. We don't meditate once or walk once. No, it's a habit. Whatever it is that makes us feel good, that's what we have to do. Maybe it's not laughter for everyone, but laughter is accessible for everybody, especially since 2020. When the world shut down. You know, even before 2020, even Dr. Kateria believed it needed to be done in person. It was very rare to laugh online before 2020. And now you can laugh 24/7 around the world.
I feel that after increasing numbers of Zoom, I'm pretty sure Zoom had felt it all through the pandemic and everything. Have you seen a shift in how people receive like these tools that you incorporated like post pandemic? Because like it's been a while since COVID, and I know that some of us still have the effects of it. Like some can probably smell a little bit, but they can't smell as much as they used to, or taste a little bit. But now we're incorporating laughter more in our lives, especially with your practices. How do you incorporate tapping and brain gym? Can you explain how those work together in laughter, in your laughter practice?
Yeah, so I've been laughing since 2012, kind of as a hobby at the beginning. And then, I did get some paid gigs going into long-term care, whatever, before 2020. I was making money doing it. And then 2020, everything shut down. I couldn't go right? We couldn't go anywhere. So I started my free online club, and I realized COVID really, I was always looking after myself. I always believed that I needed that I was important enough to look after. And then 2020, how do we torture people, Cyan? Isolation. What happened in 2020? We were all isolated. So everybody was traumatized with stress. Like it was scary as anything. Like, we don't know what's going on. What's this thing? The world's going to end. The world shut down. If I can't even remember how scary it was, but I remember that it was very scary. Okay. And so I started my club, and I started to attend online summits. There's summits for every body part. and so I would incorporate, I've been tapping since 1993. I was a therapeutic touch practitioner, and I learned tapping back in 1993. I'm so happy that tapping is becoming mainstream, sort of. And for those listening that don't know what it is, it's EFT, emotional freedom technique, and it's tapping like acupuncture on different spots. So in my laughter club every week, I incorporate this tapping, and you tap. There's 4 spots. There's no mantra. You're just breathing. So you're tapping under your pupils on your cheekbone, and you breathe deep, smiling, hold it. And that's stomach meridian. So that if you have an upset stomach, that helps balance the stomach meridian. And if you're feeling wired, this helps ground you. So it's the breathing and the tapping and the tapping and the breathing that helps make it work. And then kidney here, thymus, and spleen. So the 4 spots incorporated with the laughter. So that's how we kind of get into our body in my session. And you asked if I've seen had people have had an effect. In my club, I started in June 20th, 2020. No, in June of 2020. Sorry, June 20th. I don't know what day it was in June. June 2020. So it's coming up on 5 years. I get a lot of laughter professionals who come to my laughter club. It's free, and I'll give the details before we end. I get about 30 Zoom squares because laughter people come to learn with what I do, how I incorporate these simple skills that anybody can do. If you're bedridden, you can tap and laugh, you can breathe deep, you can connect with people. Even if you're isolated, even if you're really sick, you can still connect online virtually. It's a real gift. I think the COVID time gave us, I know a lot of people are struggling. I'm not saying it was a gift in that way, but it really helped a lot of people realize what's important in life.
Okay. I know, because I noticed there was a lot of people, because I worked in a hospital here in South Carolina during COVID, and a lot of times we have nurses that had to take more than 5 minutes to take a moment because there was either a patient that they lost, or it was a patient that that they didn't think would bottom out so quickly. And I was like, I had a front row seat to it. So yeah. I can only imagine what they were going through mentally during that time. And they most likely would have needed your services. So what do you believe? Okay, so here's my other question. When it comes to wellness meets sustainability, what do you believe is the link between how we treat the earth and how we treat ourselves?
Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, that's so good. Because when we hurt, we can't help. When we are suffering, when we're either mentally or physically, when we're hurting, we can't assist anyone else. Hurt people is what they say. When we feel good, we do good. And what happens with self-care, especially for women, we've been told, oh, don't worry, you're too tired, just you got to do it anyway, soldier on, and all these even military terms, just saying that, soldier on, like, battle on through the whatever. There's a lot of analogies with fighting and kind of warfare. No, what if we just like gentle into it? What if we just like take time? And self-care is not an option. It's maintenance. When we're struggling, we need more maintenance. But then when we feel good, we got to keep on doing that self-care. We got to be first on the list. Women especially will look at their list and go, look at all the things I got to have the kid out of all the things. We got to go put us first. Like if it's going to the gym or going for a walk around the block or yoga or whatever it is, we got to keep doing that thing.
Okay, so you say it's maintenance, not priority. Like I know some people will say like self-care is top priority. It's the same thing as checking on your mental. So what if you could choose in this case 3 things that someone can do to get themselves to finding joy, uplifting their joy in their lives? What are 3 things do you think that they can do to actually get that joy back once they've lost it? I know basically what advice do you have for people who want to live more sustainable and think that they don't have time for it? Because I know we talked about stress and being irritable.
Can I offer my morning routine? Here's what I do. It's about 15 minutes every morning. It's non-negotiable. This is what I do for maintenance. And I say maintenance because it's something I do every day to maintain me.
Okay.
So it is a priority. So it's verbiage, whatever we want to call it. So what I do, I get up early. I go to bed at the same time. I wake up at around the same time every day. So I get my sleep, really important, something people can do. Then I wake up early. I go out. I'm in Canada, so in the winter when there's snow, I don't do this, but go out barefoot. It's called earthing, and I connect to the earth's energy. And while I'm there, morning sun, I'm facing east, the morning sun on my eye, which resets my melatonin. So at night I can go to sleep easier. I don't know how it all works. I've just read these things, and this is what I do. Then I do some gentle stretching. I do my 4 thumps. I do some deep breathing. I connect with source. I asked that it be a great day. And I actually do a thing called heaven rushing in, rub my hands together. So creating the energy, shake it off, and then start in prayer position, take a deep breath in, throw my arms up in a V, like victory pose, look up to the heavens. It's called heaven rushing in. And I ask for the people that I meant to serve that day to arrive. And then I say, show me how great it gets to be. And when I'm ready, when I feel tingling in my fingers, I gather up all that beautiful energy, put it on my heart, and then I sigh. And then I toddle back inside and start my day. That's what people can do as a start. Everyone can do that.
That was great.
Thank you. Yeah.
I usually, and if anybody wants to know my routine is, I think I explained it on a different episode. What I end up doing is like before I get out of bed, I end up closing my eyes and I have a moment to do like self-evaluation.
Mm-hmm.
What feels achy, what pains, like what can I pop, what can I not pop, or just doing like a whole factory reset because today is different and it's a new day for you to reflect. Next, I just go and take the 5 minutes to monitor my breath, monitor how I feel, monitor like what we want the day to be, and just put that intention out.
Yeah.
And I start today.
So
These
important. Love it.
like steps like what Miss Cathy has said, and steps for like I do, even though we're totally different people, we're having the same focus. Letting today run its course.
Mm.
So if you're somebody that is actually looking for different routines, at Shadow Corner, we do have a newsletter, and we can post different routines, different things that you like to see. Just let us know on it, and then we'll go ahead and send it out to you. It'll also be in the show notes, okay? Also, what does the role of movement in nature play in your own joy and life and health? Because I know you said you're a cyclist, you're a gardener, so there's a lot. You probably have a lot of chores to do for yourself.
Yeah, it's kind of mindset. Instead of calling it work or, chores or whatever, it's kind of more like play and things that I get to do instead of I have to. That one little word kind of changes things too. I think movement is really important. We're very sedentary. And back to the health and wellness, we have blood, and so we have our heart to pump our blood. We have another fluid called lymphatic fluid, and lymph only moves when we move. And we don't move enough. So sometimes people might get swollen ankles or swollen parts, and maybe the lymph is not flowing there. So by moving, like all of our joints, we need to really move. And I would encourage people to check out a video called The Fuzz Speech. It's graphic. It's 5 minutes. It was a chiropractor, I believe, who talked about when we sleep, this fuzz gets formed on our body. And then if we're sore, we usually don't move it. We're like, it's sore. So the fuzz builds up more. Like that's why when you see a cat get up, it goes.
Mm-hmm. Wait a minute. You're muted, Miss Cathy.
Oh, I'm muted when I was waving around.
Yeah.
When I was doing my cat stretch.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
So we got to stretch kind of like that. So we move all that kind of fuzz that's settled overnight. We get out and then we move, and we continually moving all the time. Like, so it's rippling that lymph around. It goes only in a clockwise or in one direction. I don't know if clockwise or whatever. It just goes in one direction, but we gotta move to pump our lymph. That's the importance of movement. So combining nature, like sustainability, it does connect us with joy, because when we're in nature, composting or gardening, we can't be on our cell phone. So we're actually connected to the earth rather than connected to, I don't know, the fake news that's out there.
I hear that. I try to keep my phone in one separate room, so that way when I know I'm meditating, that it's just me and spirit. Because I have what's called the monkey brain. So I can't focus on I can focus on multiple things at a time, but at the same time, it's like having one thing in front of you, having those little blinders on does make a difference. And I try to limit like my phone interactions, because I know that I was like, I can't be too dependent on it, because it actually is considered an addiction. And I know like a lot of people don't look at it that way, but the more time, I think Android and iPhone have it. If you look under like your settings, it shows you how much time you spend on your phone, as well as how much time you spend on different apps. So it's like, and if you look at these things, you start to realize like, oh, I kind of losing track of time here, and I don't know how to declutter that. One option is to leave it in another room. Another option is just to shut it off for a certain amount of time, even if it's for an hour.
Boundaries.
The world will keep spinning even as you do that. It's not going to stop because of that.
I don't have a cell phone.
You don't? Goodness. How do people reach you?
I have a line. Well, we connected.
Yes, we connected on private. So it was like, do they just call you on your phone? Do they
Yeah, I
call?
have a landline or email.
Okay, sweet.
I'm on the social media platforms, so it's just another way. It's just another way. It's a little bit more challenging, and people are all like, "Oh, good for you," until we have a meeting, and I'm like, "Oh, remember, I don't have a cell phone. If I'm late, I can't phone you. I can't text you,
Uh,
and you can't be late." Here's the thing, Cyan. Technology has given the people who are always late permission to be always late. Because they're like, oh, I just got to send them a text. No, just be on time.
right.
Just be on time. That's all. Respect the person that you're meeting. Come on.
I get you. Okay, so this is my last question before I ask you the end question of the episode. What has been the most surprising and meaningful moment in your journey? And if you can give advice on to our listeners, what would it be?
Well, there's been many inspiring moments, both with the worms and the laughter. I'll just say this one, and I'll make it as quick as I can. Last year, I had an in-person laughter club in my backyard. A woman arrived with her pile of gangs, like they were all in their 50s, and she wanted the laughter, but she didn't want to go alone, so she rounded up a whole whack of people. And she walked in and said she just had knee surgery 8 weeks prior, and she hadn't slept more than 2 hours each night because of okay. After the laughter, she sent me an email 2 days later, because I always say, notice how you feel for the rest of the day, right? Your body's having a party, and notice how you sleep tonight. I always end my in-person ones that way. Okay. So 2 days later, she wrote me and she said, remember, I said I hadn't slept. I slept the whole night. And she said, when I arrived home from Laughter Club, my 19-year-old son was having an existential crisis. And she said, it was like somebody was inhabiting my body. I was able to hold space for him and allow him. Like, I imagine what happens as a mom. The child is having a crisis. Then you get into stress. Everybody's in stress. Where she just came from Laughter Club. She was having a party in her body, fully oxygenated and able just to be, not get swept up in the energy of her son, but hold the space. That was magic. I was like, wow, it made me cry.
That is beautiful. So what advice would you give someone that's going down this path to find joy past the shadows? What's something that you would give them?
Oh, just start looking up. I guess detach from technology. Don't watch the news. Ask for help. It's no for sure unless we ask, and people do want to help us. And start by smiling. Just start by smiling, because when we're smiling, we send a note to our brain, hey, I must be happy I'm smiling. It's where you start, even if you can't laugh. And what I didn't say about laughter yoga is it's not about jokes or comedy. It's not laughing because of anything. There's no stimulus. It's laughing. And our body doesn't know the difference between real and simulated laughter. So if you're feeling sad, go to a laughter club and fake it till you make it. Just laugh. Ha, 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 ha. Oh, I don't feel like it. Good. Bring your body. We'll make you laugh, because you just laugh. Ha, 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 ha. And then you see everyone laughing and you can't not laugh. It's contagious. And then it becomes real. And then you come again the next week, or the next day you find another one. Like, just keep on until you find the thing that helps you feel good, because then you can look back at this time and go, wow, that time was dark and now I feel so great and I can help other people.
Beautiful. Well, Miss Cathy, we really appreciate you giving us your time and offering your space to be able to talk to us. We know now about you being the laugh ambassador, and you serve that very well. I cannot wait to have you on the little thing I'm calling the round table. But if you'd be honored, I would love to have you.
Oh, I would be honored. I would love it. Thank you.
Well, we will talk to you soon. And thank you so much for being a part of this.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Well, Shadow Corner fam, as Miss Cathy has said, laughter is the key to everything. Lead to joy, happiness, and as well, making sure that you're not sad. Remember that when it comes to shadow work, finding your joy is something, it's not minor, it's major. Just like the work is a heavy weight, being able to keep up the work is also a weight. So you have to be able to recognize when it's your time to actually start living your life. COVID was a heavy burden for all of us. Me, especially since I was like one of the phlebotomists that's involved. I've seen, I can't even tell you all that I've seen during that time of COVID, but I will say that one patient stuck out to me because the first thing he said was, he's like, I don't want to die. I don't want to die. And I'm sitting here like, you're not going to die? But it's like, you can't say that. It's like mentally you are trying to give them the hope. But around so much darkness, there is light. So I want you to carry your light every day because you don't know how contagious it is. And keep that smile up throughout the day. I will talk to you guys on another day. So we will talk soon. Bye for now.